American Airlines, the largest airline on Earth. What could I possibly say about them that hasn't been said before? I guess, I love American Airlines is probably a rare one. America's most innovative airline. Yeah, that doesn't work either. How about American Airlines, where mediocrity flies? Snark aside, American is not a bad airline. They're just not a great one either, and I suppose sometimes that's okay. By the way, if you're ever curious about the price that I paid for this flight, or the equipment that I use on a daily basis while traveling and creating, all of that can be found in the description below. Let me welcome any of you that might be new to the channel. My name is Kevin. Over the last 5 years, I've flown over 130 airlines, so I could bring you my self-funded, drama-free, and honest takes on them all. Not to mention the over 200 hotels and resorts that I've reviewed so far. Scan the QR code to explore the destinations I've covered and learn more about the channel. Without further ado, let's get flying. There's something about a clear sunrise or sunset in Madrid that just hits differently. I could never quite put my finger on what it is, but there's always something a bit majestic about them. This morning, I'm heading to Madrid Barajas Terminal 4 for my flight to New York. Believe it or not, in the 5 years of doing this channel and the 300 odd flights, this was actually the first round-trip ticket that I ever bought. I'll be heading to JFK today on an American 777-300ER. On the way back, I'll be on a British Airways 777-300ER, and then hop down to here in Madrid on Iberia. I was kind of gushing about my love for Barajas in my perfect scoring Iberia video from Madrid to Mexico City, so I won't get into it all again today, but it is just a beautiful place to be. Filming everything for this channel, I've only been asked to stop filming 3 times prior to today. Today not only marked the 4th, but also the 2nd from American Airlines. When I was filming quite far back from the American Airlines check-in area, someone in an American Airlines uniform approached me and told me that it was illegal to film in the airport. Oh, in this airport, one of the most photographed and filmed airports in the world. It's now illegal. Okay. The other time that I was stopped was at Terminal 8 at JFK, also being told that it was illegal by an American employee. I'm curious why they feel the need to make things up on the spot more than other airlines do. Anyway, check-in itself was pretty easy and a bit of a hilarious experience. I was in line behind 2 college students returning to New York after studying abroad, each with a multi-$1,000 handbag dangling from their shoulder. Is that relevant? No, but it made this next bit more satisfying. They had these suitcases that no one would ever describe as body bags because they could easily fit at least 5 bodies in each. These things were ginormous, and they each had 2 of them. My entertainment for the day was them truly not comprehending the problem with the bag. Just the first one that was weighed came in at 52 kilograms. You can teach the arts, you can teach Spanish in Spain, but can't teach common sense. Anyway, off to the Iberia lounge I went, bathing in some beautiful morning light. There are really just 2 things that I want to talk about as it relates to American Airlines. First off is how I booked the round-trip ticket that I did to begin with. In 2002, way back when it was still a novel concept, British Airways and American started a code-share agreement. That opened the door for what was to come in 2010, a full transatlantic joint cooperation. Keep in mind that British Airways and Iberia merged in 2011, so the initial agreement was between these 3 carriers to be able to coordinate schedules, routes, fares, and share in all of the glory of operating some of the most valuable routes on Earth together. Finnair was added to the co-op in 2013, Level in 2017, and Aer Lingus in 2021. So now you can pick and choose exactly which flight best suits you on these carriers and combine them into a single ticket pretty easily. This is not, of course, the only venture of its kind though. SkyTeam and Star Alliance each have their own agreements between some of their members. The true real benefit for the American and BA partnership though is American's connectivity in the US, which far surpasses any of the other major carriers in the country. How big is the operation really though? Well, I could tell you how many hundreds of millions of seats they fly per year on American Airlines, or how many passengers they have, or their revenue. But these are all such abstract numbers that, to me at least, they don't really represent the size of the operation. So what I like to look at are the number of daily flights. JFK, where we're heading now, is technically a hub for American. They have their own terminal, and this month, as I'm writing, they're operating 2,520 flights from that airport. It doesn't sound that impressive, and honestly, it's not. During the same month, Emirates has 6,700 flights from Dubai. British Airways has 7,100 from Heathrow. Air France 9,500 from Charles de Gaulle. China Southern and Air China each had around 10,000 from their biggest hub. Turkish had 16,600 from Istanbul. Delta in Atlanta, the world's busiest airport, had a staggering 20,000 flights this month. But to understand the scale of American, which is my second point, you really need to look at the full country, and way more than just New York. American has nearly as many flights as Delta has from Atlanta from Charlotte. You thought I was going to say Dallas, right? No, Dallas is in a league of its own, with 24,988 flights just for American Airlines this month. So it is very true that American Airlines is not the most glamorous airline or the most valuable brand. But what they lack in those areas, they make up for in their connectivity, especially within the US and Latin America. That said, Asia is a gaping hole in their network. Nearly 1,000 aircraft in their fleet, not including their regional carriers, and they fly to like 5 cities in all of Asia. When I booked this flight, it was meant to be a 787-9, then changed to a 777-200ER, and then to today's 300ER, the flagship aircraft of their fleet. American has 20 of these in the fleet, and they are in 2 possible configurations. Ours today is in the original configuration with an old-school first-class section, followed by a mini cabin of 2 rows of business, where I was, and then the much larger business class cabin behind. The new configuration is some kind of black magic sorcery. My aircraft today has 8 first-class seats, 52 business, and 28 premium economy. That's 88 non-economy seats, plus 216 in economy. The new configuration eliminates first class, has 70 business class seats, and 44 premium economy seats, for a total of 114 non-economy seats, an increase of 26. But they still squeeze in exactly the same number, 216 economy seats. That tells you a heck of a lot about the specific seat specifications that they chose. Here's our seat for the 7.5-hour flight to New York. These are the exact same seats that you'll find on the majority of Cathay Pacific's 777s that haven't been retrofitted yet. Overall, it's a very comfortable seat, and by and large is in really good condition. If you're enjoying the video and would like to support the channel, there are many ways that you could do so. A quick like on the video and subscribe helps with the algorithm, or you could check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. On Patreon, I post everything from early access or Patreon-only videos, to newsletters, my best tips and tricks to save money on travel, glimpses behind the scenes, detailed advanced itinerary maps, and much, much more. Think of it as a toolbox to save money on or simply improve your next trip, especially if it's in Southeast Asia. If you have specific questions about your upcoming trips, I can help with that too. Whatever you do though, thanks very much for doing it. The seat has 3 primary storage areas. 2 of them are open, and the third is hidden and closed for your shoes. In the bulkhead where I am, the foot cubby is wonderfully wide and spacious. Thankfully, there's also space under it for storage. There are no doors, but you can see that the seats are fairly private because of the shape of the seat back. This is my eye level. And thank you for overhead air vents. It has been too long since I've seen these on a 777. Pre-departure drinks were passed around. Water, orange juice, or champagne in plastic cups. We pushed back with a gorgeous view of an Iberia A350, and the safety video began. By the way, did I mention my Iberia video to Mexico City had a perfect score? It's linked in my description. let's take a look at some of the comfort items on board. First up is this massive zip case which has the blanket and pillow inside. The blanket was really nice, and I much prefer to their old Casper products. This one is much more soft and fluffy, and just the perfect weight. The pillow is also pretty good, kind of a foam hybrid. It was structured and supportive. American no longer provides mattress covers, unfortunately, but there have been rumors that they might bring back pajamas for those of you that like them. Last up for now, the slippers, which were actually really nice. A great quality in a soft jersey knit. I mentioned that LOT Polish Airlines and American were having an unofficial world's smallest hot towel competition, and it looks like American won this one hands down. We're going to take a very quick look at the restrooms right now, and just specifically note how untidy it was 21 minutes after takeoff. Just remember this for later. The meal service began with a ramekin of warm nuts and a drink service. I, for the second time ever, unfortunately forgot my menus on board, so I don't have one to share today. The service began with an overflowing side salad and an Indian spice chicken starter with a yogurt cream sauce. Both of these were good, but had I known that the starter was Indian spiced, I probably wouldn't have chosen an Indian dish for the main online in advance as well. American allows you to choose their main course online prior to your flight. I chose the tandoori chicken with basmati rice, potato rosti donuts, and tandoori sauce. This was pretty good, but it is in desperate need of a bit of freshness. Even like a single sprig of cilantro would have been welcome. The other choices were beef short ribs, mushroom ravioli, or poached salmon. For dessert, I was thrilled that they still did the ice cream sundaes. I'm not always an ice cream kind of guy, but I think the service on flights like this is still a great thing to have. The ice cream itself was really icy and just felt cheap, but of course, it's ice cream, so I'll survive. Overall, I'm going to put the full meal at a 7.6 out of 10. Let's take a look at the in-flight entertainment with its extensive selection of movies and TV shows and the like as I speak about the service a bit. First, the flight deck was surprisingly absent. I mean, they were there, allegedly, but they never made any sort of announcement. I've never known of any US carrier to not make multiple announcements. The cabin crew were a mixed bag, but I lucked out. Some of the crew, like the one who confirmed my order before takeoff and served the second meal to me, was just a lot. Just that matter-of-fact, no filter, 23 decibels too loud full package. For the majority of the flight, though, my flight attendant was fantastic. She was very chill, friendly, and attentive, and was constantly checking for refills and the like. And there was never a sense that you were bothering her or something like that, a vibe that you often get from American crew. She was just genuinely a laid-back and friendly person, and likely made the flight as pleasant as it was for me. American is known for their Bang & Olufsen headphones, which I was surprised that they didn't collect before landing. They're very good quality. I just think they're entirely too heavy to wear for an extended period. The seat extends into a fully flat bed and is very comfortable. I don't know why they took away the mattress pads, which would have definitely elevated the experience, but the surface is a great size, especially up here in the bulkhead. In between services, the crew set up a self-service snack station. The amenity kit was really nice, and I was happy to not get one of those paper box kits that they were giving out for a while. Not really too sure what their strategy with kits is though. From the boxes to the mix and match of products inside, it does just kind of feel like American put out an open call for brands to give them free individual products to include. Around 75 minutes prior to landing, the crew came out with the pre-arrival meal served from carts. I was asked sandwich or salad. Keep in mind that this was the other extra flight attendant that I mentioned. I said sandwich, and she began to unwrap it, and you would think that there was a chihuahua under the foil based on the puzzled look on her face. She passed it to me and said, "Well, I don't really know what this is, but here you are." To her credit, I guess it doesn't really look like a sandwich, but it was. This tasted like, and I mean tasted exactly like, Pizza Hut Chicken Supreme Deep Dish Pizza from 1995, but without all of the grease, and I say that in an endearing way. It was delicious, served with some cut fruit, potato chips, and a small potted dessert. This meal overall is going to get an 8.6 out of 10. Now about that bathroom. This is the same bathroom 6 hours and 40 minutes later. I swear it's the exact same stuff on the floor. So restroom attention is not their strong suit. As we head into a cloudy New York, let's talk about the ranking. I've had them at a 5. In the past, I've had 1 delightful experience, 2 crappy experiences, and a few totally mediocre ones. Today's, I'd say, was much closer to delightful than mediocre, so I'm going to raise them up to a 6. Enjoy the landing. It is just gray on gray on gray on gray here today. So I really do hope that you enjoyed this trip report today. If you did, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss my twice weekly videos. I'll see you next time on British Airways in, well, the same seat. Again. As always, thanks for watching until the end.